For our next talk, if you do decide to deploy on Friday and something blows up, at least you'll have a better idea. By Allan Espinosa, treat your servers like your Ruby app, infrastructure as code.
Hi, good morning. I'm Allan. Today I'll talk about how to do the same software engineering discipline like test-driven development and all those nice things to your servers by basically codifying your infrastructure. So a bit about me. I work in Rakuten in my team where we have a private platform as a service or a private Heroku for our data centers. So I'm a polyglot. I like Ruby. I fell in love with Ruby like during undergrad days with Chris. And then after that, recently I've actually started to like Java. I don't know why, but yeah. JUnit. But yeah, so I'm more of a system, so Docker, VMware, Chef, Jenkins type of person. So I'm an infrastructure guy. And I work in Rakuten in Tokyo. It's basically the large e-commerce site in Japan, and they own a bunch of companies around the world, like Fiverr in the Philippines. Okay, so moving on. So today, I would like to get to know like if most of you are developers or infrastructure guys, and I'll give I'll pass through TDD. I guess most of you know it already, and then and how it relates to infrastructure. And originally, I wanted to show a demo, but it failed during the earlier because I had to reboot my machine. So I'll just show Git commits to show the code walkthrough, and then I'll wrap it up. Who among you are web app developers? Like most of you. Who of you work in infrastructure? Yeah, it's the minority here. Who of you consider yourselves as full stack engineers? Okay, not so much. Who among you do TDD or do unit tests in your Ruby code?
Don't?
Okay. So I'll push through more points then, guys. Okay, let's skip the last 2 points. Okay. So the point of programming your infrastructure is to have a reproducible way of rolling out your servers. And if you can easily roll out your servers, then you can easily bring up a lot of servers for your Rails app or Sinatra app, right? Like you can have like magical AWS auto-scaling groups that responds to some New Relic or Pingdom events, and then like call AWS to spin up more instances automatically or magically. If you run servers, have you encountered this problem? Like, who among you manages more than 5 servers for your production? Okay, so have you ever had a problem? What Ruby version have you installed on servers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5? Like, are you sometimes do you know which machines upgraded to Ruby 2.1 for production? Yeah, because like you have this like huge, I guess, ITIL-ish change document, I guess. So for example, like we encountered this a lot at work, like deploying Nokogiri on servers, like takes a lot of headache. So like upgrading live XML, like those things. And then who among you have miswritten their production database in database YAML to point to the staging database? Just me. Okay. I'm not alone. So, in light of these problems, like this can be prevented if you have like an automatic gatekeeper, not just a senior dev who has the deploy key to your code. So having tests automate that process will keep your tech lead happy and sleep more at night. So, are you all familiar with this typical TDD cycle? Yeah. So, yeah, basically you write failing test, make it pass, and then you refactor. Yeah, I had to use my corporate slide, so it's all red. It's supposed to be green. This is supposed to be green. Anyway. Yeah, PR like had made me use the slides. Okay. When you talk with customers, sometimes you extend it with ATDD or acceptance TDD or PDD, where basically this is your business-ish test, and to make it pass, you do a normal TDD cycle. On your local machine, typically you write your cucumber tests with like using Selenium or who? They use rack test instead, or more Selenium guys? Selenium? Yeah. So this is for your applications only. So actually your acceptance test is not really passing, because it's supposed to be passing the acceptance test means like it reached your customers and they're satisfied with the result. So having your Capybara host point to local host is not actually a real acceptance test. So if you do it together with your infrastructure, your TDD loop, like after deploying and running the TDD loop on your infrastructure, you can actually point your cucumber tests in Capybara to your actual production domain, and you can show the customers that like this is a green test, and like your test format are like Minitest can make a markdown file or a Word document if you want, and then they can sign off to that. And to make them sign off, you can make them test it manually as well. So it's nice and a simpler way to convince your customers, because I guess many of you are from dev shops around the Philippines. Yeah. So, originally this was supposed to be a demo, so I'll show some technologies I use for testing the infrastructure. So here I have my test where I want to have Ruby installed on my server. So basically this is a plain mini test, and basically I want to check if the Ruby file exists. And if it doesn't exist, then this test suite will fail. Like to run this test, I have what we call test kitchen. Basically, it automatically spins up Vagrant VMs and runs my tests to it. So most of you are running Vagrant for local dev? No? Okay, but yeah, like, okay. Yeah. So basically, like this is like a set of convenience script to run VMs on your local machine. It can also run test VMs on AWS or DigitalOcean, and then it will run the test suite named app on a FreeBSD machine, and then like it will correspond to this app test to test that Ruby is installed. So in the first run, it will fail because on a blank server and where I didn't run anything, it's a blank server, Ruby is not installed. At least the one I get from Vagrant. Okay. So then we proceed to our next TDD cycle. We can make it pass by running Chef Chef is a tool to provision your servers, to configure its, to manage its configuration. So here I write what you call recipes. So recipes are steps in Chef to provision your server. So this will install Ruby. So here's the content of my recipe. I'll be running my test on a BSD machine, free BSD machine. So I'll run package update first. And then Chef has this DSL to install the Ruby package and some metadata. So metadata.rb is the equivalent of gemspec in Chef. So and then when we run the test, it will run Chef and run the following commands in my VM, like install package update and then install Ruby. And then after that, the test will pass because Ruby was installed. So, yeah. Okay, so I guess I have a lot of time so I can show diff patches for the rest of the code. So it's important to express your servers as code because like you can take advantages of what you guys have been learning in software engineering that we've recently started to learn as well for managing our servers. So since I have time, I can show some code. So this was the code I showed earlier in the slides to run the failing test. So check that Ruby is installed, and then yeah, next. And next here is the one to pass the test. So I installed the application, Chef recipe, and then here's the actual installation of the package. And then I made another test to pass, make the Ruby test pass. In addition to installing Ruby, I also had a test for deploying code. So this one will basically check if my rack application is running. Basically, I get the PID file and then send a kill signal 0 to check if it runs or not. So the process.kill will return a 1 if the process exists. And to make that pass, I do something like basically deploy the application. So I wrote additional rate tasks in my application to package it as a tarball, which gets deployed. So after running bundle install and installing it in vendor/bundle, I basically tarred up everything because as an infrastructure guy, we all love deploying plain packages like artifacts. So in Ruby, you don't compile things, so you just tar everything up. And then I will install it in my Chef recipe, the tarball that I made. And then, okay, here's the wrap. And And then I basically install the application by preparing the directory for deployment here. And then extracting the tarball here. And then making the FreeBSD init scripts. So this is a FreeBSD init script. So here you can see the. So basically, this is the main thing that runs it. So basically, it just runs rack up. I actually specified the environment variable to be production, not deployment. I should have, but I couldn't correct it like after the first talk. Yeah. And then the last step would be for Chef to use this BSD init script to run the service. And then after that, you can deploy it to your actual servers. So basically here, I just added it to my actual server in production, the recipe, because now it's ready. And then in my test, I'm actually testing using basic net HTTP GET to get the output of my rack application. Basically, I get the actual endpoint using an environment variable, or if not, it reverts to localhost. And yeah. So basically, that's the thing. Yeah. If you have questions, or if you want to see the demo after I prepare later, yeah. Oh, there's a question. Yes.
I'd love to know how you manage to create your test environment.
I'm sorry. How to?
Hello. I would love to know how you manage to create your test environment. Do you use a virtual machine or something like that?
Yes. So in my test environment, I use virtual machines. So if you do actually I do. If I do a kitchen test, so test kitchen does this. Okay, like this will actually start test kitchen and spin up Vagrant virtual machines. Like Vagrant will. So test kitchen will spin up Vagrant, and here Vagrant will spin up a VMware Fusion machine, and then.
Before each test?
For each test, yes.
Automatically you going back to a snapshot of your machine?
No, here it destroys the VM and creates it.
Okay.
Yeah. Like so in my team, like we've done snapshotting as well. So we've set up our Jenkins scripts because our internal infrastructure doesn't use like VMware Fusion. We have vSphere deployment, so we have our Jenkins scripts like snapshot the vSphere VMs and then run these tests. So Test Kitchen has other drivers, like they have drivers for vSphere as well, or plain SSH. In our case, we coupled like ad hoc scripts connecting to vSphere and then like plain SSH to run the tests, and then cleanup scripts to restore the snapshot.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Other question? Okay. I think this demo will fail. Yeah. Yeah, like originally I prepared the demo by trying to prevent the use of the internet by having local proxies for everything. But when, of course, if you do demo live, then no amount of preparation can make it run.
Thank you, Alan.
Okay.